Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at Skeledirge EX with Charizard EX. This is a list I've had sat around for quite a while, and obviously I've updated it to the Mega Evolutions format with the new cards and everything. And to be honest, it's a list that for some reason, whenever I try and take it on the ladder, I have the worst matchups that you can think of. So, the worst matchups for this deck, at least in my experience, are Cynthia's Garchomp, because we cannot one-shot them even with the Metal Dirge. I mean, you can if you have Defiance Band, but you have to have them on one price to do that, and you have to have a Fire in hand to use Skeledirge EX's Metal ability. And also Ceruledge is a very rough matchup, specifically the version with the rocks, because while they can attack with a Solrock, make you go down to single prize attacking only. And yeah, only single prizer but it doesn't deal with a Ceruledge, so yeah, it's been pretty rough so far, but it's not the deck's fault. The deck's been running pretty fine. But no, I've just had the worst luck known to man. So in the description below, as per normal, there's going to be the links to the timestamps. There's going to be the deck list, which is also available to copy in the description below. And there's also going to be the games that we'll play and the outro of what I think of the deck. So obviously with G-Block rotation looming, and obviously I've mentioned this a few times that I want to cover as many as possible, I wanted to make a Skeledirge EX deck, but I wanted to feature both versions. So we're playing both the Fire type and the Metal Terror with the Incendiary Song ability. So these cards aren't bad, they're just not very good. Like, they're not amazing. But the Skeledirge that we have here does actually have pretty good attacks. So Burning Voice for 270, it does do 10 less feet damage counter on this Pokemon. But Vitality Song is actually a pretty underrated attack. I don't think we're going to use it today because a lot of our opponents' decks will be trying to hit us for one-shots. But we heal 30 damage from each of our Pokemon. Pretty nice to have. Then, of course, we have the Skeledirge EX Metal Terror with the Incendiary Song ability. Once during your turn, you may discard a basic fire energy from your hand in order to use this ability. During this turn, attacks used by your Pokemon do 60 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance. And of course, Luster Burn for 2 fire energy does 160 damage and goes through Cornerstone and also Crustle, which is pretty nice to have. And most importantly, if we're using this Skeledirge, not only can we make it extremely bulky, because obviously it will be 360 effectively against Crustle, because of resistance anyway, we can obviously amp our damage up with Defiance Band if we're behind our prizes, so we can really do some work in that matchup. And obviously with Chi-Yu in the list, we also have that advantage as well. But of course, pairing with it is everyone's somewhat favourite, Charizard EX. Obviously this powers up our Pokemon with Infernal Rain, and also grants us Dark-type coverage, which we are definitely going to need given all the Gardevoir running around. Obviously the Metal Terror deals with Lillie's Clefairy, deals with Mega Abomasnow, so, you know, we have some hope in those matchups at least. But yeah, this list has been pretty fun to play. Obviously, I just keep pairing the worst matchups possible. But that's pretty standard. But, well, that's PTCG Live for you. It's like they know you want to try and do something, and they decide to ruin it for you. So, let's go to the deck list, and let's have a look. And welcome to the deck list. So, the original list that I had built, because I had this deck built IRL at one point, wasn't playing this EX, but it was playing this EX. I was playing this version of the Skeledirge idea. Now, obviously, this was a pretty poor list, if I was to be brutally honest with you. It was quite a bad list, so I ended up disassembling it, and now the EXs, the Dirges, all sit in my binder. Obviously, the bulk cards don't, but you get my point. But this was the original idea, was instead of this and these, this was 2 of these, and I still had this. I played, obviously, the Zards for type coverage and everything, but yeah, that was my original list, but I've thrown in the Dirge EX from Paldean Fate, or Paldean Evolve, sorry, and also Paldean Fates. But yeah, this is not a great card, but, you know, we're here to make it work. Obviously, we have the Incendiary Song Dirge as well, but you get my point. So we have 4 Fuecoco, 2 Crocalor, 2 Skeledirge EX with the Fire typing, and 1 Skeledirge EX with the Metal Terror typing, 3 Charmander, 2 Charmeleon, 2 Charizard EX, 1 Fezandipiti EX, and 1 Chi-Yu. 4 Arven, 4 Lilies, 2 Iono, which I'd love a third of, 2 bosses, sorry, 1 Professor Turo, 3 Ultra Ball, 3 Rare Candy, 2 Night Stretcher, 1 Nest Ball, 1 Precious Trolley, 1 Buddy Poffin, 1 Earthen Vessel, 1 Super Rod, 1 Counter Catcher, 1 Switch for a little bit of pivot. We are playing 3 Retreat Pokemon most of the time, 2 TM Evo, 1 Defiant Span to just give us a little bit of extra punch, 1 Artisan, 1 Pokemon League HQ for the disruption against the single prize decks, and, well, I say single prize decks, more like the basic decks, and also Badoo, and of course 9 basic Fire Energy. Like I said, the list isn't bad at all, it's just I've been meeting the worst matchups you can imagine. Like I say, Cynthia's Garchomp is horrible, and Ceruledge is also horrible because we rely on our bulk. We're playing 330 and 340 HP Pokemon, and Ceruledge can just fart right over that, and well, Garchomp out-tanks us, so yeah. And it also can one-shot us, whereas we can't one-shot a Garchomp with a power weight. So yeah, it's not been the best fun, but, you know, that's not the deck's fault. I'm not going to blame the deck, but, you know, I think this list does have room to improve. I would love a third Iono, which you could probably cut to 8 fire, but that just depends on your choice. So, let's get into some games, see how we do. And welcome to the match. Hopefully we don't parent any of the matchups that I said previously, because it just seems that they're all over the bloody ladder right now. Ceruledge is very much all over the ladder. Yeah, it's not fun, let's just say. Gardevoir shouldn't be too bad. I'm assuming, like, this is Gardevoir during the Battle Coin. Shouldn't be too bad, because obviously we do play the Terra Charizard, we do have a lot of bulk behind us, and we can potentially start swinging early with boss and stuff like that. So we do at least have that option. And our opponent is going to go first, that's fine. We can deal with that. Probably is Gardevoir, to be honest, but it could be Lucario because of the sleeves. Oh, that is a horrible starting hand. Jeez. Oh, that's bad. Oh, why Ceruledge? No! For God's sake. I've literally been running into freaking Ceruledge all day. It's like, you finish recording... Oh. Okay. Hold on, hold on. We could be okay. Buddy Poffin. We've got a Zard in hand, we've got a Charmander in hand. Our Metal Dirge is prized, but I'm kind of thankful it is, because I won't want to put that in this matchup. How many energy we prized? We prized 2 energy. Prizes don't look too bad, and that's good for us. So we'll Ultra Ball away, Charmeleon, and an Ultra Ball. I will grab another Fuecoco. We have prize 1. It's not a big deal. And we will just pass. This is horrible. there's no sugarcoating it. This hand is horrible. Yeah, we need a miracle. If he takes out the Fuecoco, we could be okay. Just 4 fighting energy, casually sat in hand, sure. We could, if he attacks with... If we get a second candy, we could attack with the Dirge. There goes Brian. I'm glad that's going. Very glad that's going, in fact. Yeah, this is a horrible matchup. Like I say, Ceruledge, the whole point of it is to just fart out energy until you hit big numbers and everything. But, yeah. There's the baby, or the Solrock, but he doesn't have the Lunatone. So we could be okay? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, you're whiffing, that's good for me. But not good for me because I'm whiffing myself. Pass. We need double candy, but like we've just seen no, like we've had no supporters in hand this entire time. He can take out the Charmander or the Fuecoco now. 6 energy in the discard, so 150 is it? Yes. 150. Yeah, this is just horrible. It's like they're rubbing my nose in it for playing a deck like this. Like, you know, I know Charizard is not a meta deck right now. It's like, you know, it's not like the best deck in format right now. But like, you know, it's one of those things. Like, it just seems like every time I play a Charizard deck, this is the sort of hands I get. Like, there's a Abyssal Flames. So if we get can do top deck, which would be nice. We can actually attack with a Fuecoco or the Skeledirge. But I don't think it's going to happen. That is a Lillie's though. So I could Rare Candy into the dirt. Actually, no. Do I want to take that risk? Do I just do the Zard? But then again, I don't dot this out. That's the problem. I think we just do the Dirge. And then we Lillies. Fingers crossed? Oh my god. Now we see the supporters. Okay. Nest Ball, Fez. Because there's no point putting Zard in play. It doesn't one-shot this. Oh my god. What is happening? Attached to Dirge. Pass. Jesus. Like, this deck was not running this badly when I was playing it the other day. Like, this is insane, bruv. If they Abyssal Flames, it's fine, because we can just Night Stretcher, or you can Arven for energy. But no, this was really rough. Right, we need an energy off the top. Thank you. Because we can go for a big fat Iono. I can Night Stretcher back a Charmander. In fact, no, I'll grab the Charmeleon. I'm gonna Iono. Actually, do we want to shove anything back in? No. So we'll just go for the Iono and then we can Fez after. Okay, that's okay. That's fine. So Defiance Band here, because it doesn't hugely matter, but we might as well do it. Ultra Ball away Charmeleon and Lillies. We want to grab another Fuecoco. Then we Fez. Could thin that out as well. And Burning Voice, 270. Down goes the Ceruledge. I lost my train of thought then. There's my Metal Dirge. So they have 160, 190 damage in play now. Now I know you might think that Burning Voice is bad here. It's actually not, because we can just retreat this and go into Zard. So we have options here. We're not hugely out of the woods yet. If they attack the Dirge to like stop Burning Voice from being a factor, we can deal with that. There's Fez. Fez can get him a lot more. Okay. It's actually looking better than what I thought it was going to be. Their brick at the start was what really helped us here. And if we find Boss, we could go ahead of the prize race, because they're bricking, I think. Could we get away with this? No, they've got the Night Stretcher, so they can get back the Ceruledge. That's okay, because we can just go into the Zard. Because Zard is doing 270 right now. And it's not, it's doing 240. But, if we get Rare Candy Dirge, we could knock this out with the Zard. I'm asking for a lot here, I know, but... well, you kind of have to do what you have to do. So, I need to evolve this Zard. There's a Nest Ball. We could just also boss the Fez, it's not a big deal, but we're taking quite a bit of damage here, so our Burning Voice is going to do next to no damage. There's another Charcadet, that's fine. Yeah, this matchup is rough. Boss. Oh, no, you've got the boss for the Charmeleon? Oh boy. That's going to make things harder for us in the late game. I mean, it's not a big deal because that is a one prize turn there, but you have got Briar in the discard pile, so I'm prepared to play around that. There's Candy. Let's Fez for 3 first. Okay, that's not helpful in the slightest. We could get the Metal Dirge doesn't help here, that's the problem. I can bench this anyway. I can attach to this one. And we just Iono. This is looking rough for us, I must admit. There's a Rod, but we don't get what we want. So I'll put back a Charmander. We'll put back 2 Charmanders and a Charmeleon, just in case. And yeah, Burning Voice. Take out the Ceruledge. we could be okay here. Obviously, we do run the risk of falling into a Briar here, but, you know, they're Briars in the discard pile. I've Iono'd them, so they're unlikely to draw into Pal Pad. They've got the Ceruledge. So that's 11 energy in, so that's 250 damage. Unless they play 2 Briar, they don't win. That's the thing. And they don't play 2 Briar, unless this is a really weird Ceruledge list. Yeah, we could... Because do we have a Convergent deck? I think we do. We could win this turn, I think. We could Arven for a tool. In fact, no, we're out of tools in deck, so we can't Arven for a tool. We can Vessel away the energy, grab another 2 energy, and use that as discard fodder. We might be okay here. We might have actually gotten away with it because of their bricking. Just gotta hope they don't have legacy energy, because that could make things complicated. So yeah, putting Voice does do less damage, but obviously we can go Rare Candy into the second one. I think we have game. I think we have game. Arven. No, we don't. We're out of Ultra Balls. Shit. Right, that's just complicated things. What do we do here then? I can Vitality Song, set it up for an easier time, I guess. I don't know. What does Night Stretcher get me? Night Stretcher gets me Charmeleon, which doesn't help. Yeah, game. We're just gonna grab the Trolley then. Well then, Trolley. Grab 2 Charmanders. We can just burn Vitality Song for 50. It's not the end of the world if we do that. And to be honest, I think we just will. We'll just attack with Vitality Song. The healing doesn't matter here, but, you know, we'll at least get some damage on the board. I very much heavily doubt they play 2 Briar, because if they do, they are playing a weird-ass list. Okay, the bundle's fine. We give them a Fuecoco. The bundle is absolutely fine if they pop it. We just give them a Fuecoco. I don't think they have a way out. Like, they have to take out the Dirge, I know that much, and then I get Fez value. Let's see what they do here. There's Legacy. Legacy can complicate things. So we need Charizard Fez. We need Charizard Boss for game. But they can't retreat this Ceruledge. Okay, let's see what we get. I'm going to promote with Charmander. We have Switch in hand. We could win this turn. But without any Ultra Balls in deck, it's going to get trickier. Okay, Fez for 3. There's the win. Rare Candy into Charizard. And we most certainly, well, we should have energy in deck. I'd be very worried if we didn't. Rub the nose in it, go bam, 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 and Burning Darkness for game. Oh, that glitched out a bit there, but no, that's game. Thank you, Fez. That was a little bit lucky, but, well, that's our roughest matchup, so I'll take it. Let's go to a game 2. And welcome back to game 2. I was just having a quick swag at my drink then. Problem is, when you're recording for a couple of hours, your voice just tends to get a bit, you know, like, rough. But no, that was pretty successful. Like, we beat our worst matchup by a country mile. First, no. We want to go second. We want to go second, TM Evo, Trolley, etc. Well, that'd be nice if we had a basic in hand, but no, that's a Mully. Let's see what we get. You could also cut the Defiance Band, but to be brutally honest, I don't think like it's a bad thing to keep it in. But I think definitely go down to 8 energy and then put in a third Iono. So Iron Leaf Sleeves, that sort of rolls off the tongue. I wonder what they're playing. 1 Mully just gives away fire energy. Trolley Start is really good. I'm going to start the Fuecoco, but I'm going to bench the Fez as well. Just in case this is a dog deck, because obviously I have no idea. I'd rather play into our strengths where we can. Latias, that tells me Jackal. What could this be then? Ah, this is Bolt. Okay, this is going to be tough then. Bolt is tough for us. Like, Bolt can obviously deal with our 2 prizes. Ogerpon can deal with our Charizards. We can hit the Latias for weakness. They're playing an energy switch, interestingly enough. There's the fan. Master Ball fan Rotom as well. Got to get that bling, you know. Obviously, if I'd have known it was Bolt, I would not have put this Fez down, but it's a bit too late to fix that. I mean, we could Turo it, but, you know. Feels a bad play by Turo just to do that. And they're playing the Holo Foil Hoots, but they're not playing the Optimal Hoot. Interestingly enough. So yeah, we're definitely going to Turo this Fez. We don't want to give them a prize race. So we'll Turo the Fez. And then we will Precious Trolley. Let's go 2-2. Chiyu's good in this matchup, and we'll grab 2 for Coco. In fact, I can actually keep 1 bench space clear for Fez later. So, let's have a quick look at the prizes. So we've got 1 Charmeleon in the prizes, we've got 1 Crocalor in hand. Dirge EX Terra might come up in this matchup because we can take out Teomas and the Latias with it, so we're going to keep that in mind. Prized 1 candy's in hand, that's fine. We're just whiffing on what we need, is the bad thing. I'll attach to the Fuecoco on the bench, and I will pass. This could be rough. Bolt is pretty rough for us anyway. Obviously, we do have the Chiyu to offset the prize race, which could be nice, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But yeah, this is not a bad matchup. It's definitely unfavored because of the, you know, because of this, but still, I don't think we should be too worried. Obviously, Fan Rotom cannot take out a Fuecoco, which is a nice thing, so we can deal with that. There's a fighting on the grass, so they're definitely attacking with Bolt this turn. Teal Dance, that's fine, because the reason why I'm picking up the Fez now is because I can still go and force them to go through 6 or 3-2 prizes. That does actually help us later, but not right now. So we do play Terras. We play 3 Terras. 2 Zards and the Metal Dirge. I don't think we're going to use the Metal Dirge, I'll be honest. I just threw it in the deck list because, you know, we're covering it, technically speaking. Double Noctowl, though. Very odd. That throws away a lot of your resources. You're putting a lot of eggs in one basket. There's the Baby Bolt. That could be an issue. There's Sada. What's their last card in hand then? Do they have an E-Switch in hand or something? Or a Fighting in hand? There's the Baby Coridon. Nest Ball. Baby Mew. No, another Bolt. Yeah, I think they're just going to attack my Bolt, which is fine. We can deal with that. We could most definitely deal with that. I'll promote the Fuecoco the energy, because we could draw into Skeledirge. Because obviously we've got Fez plus draw. But making them discard energy for a single prizer is actually pretty good. Because obviously we could just one-shot this with the Dirge, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's nice to see Bolt. I mean, this is the Bolt promo from the tin. I never got this tin, because my local shops literally did not have it. I wanted it, though, to add to my bling when I had the Abomination deck. Okay, well that's something. We can now bench the Fez, because now it's safe to bench the Fez. There's a Lillies, though, and that doesn't help us. We can Nest Ball to thin Fuecoco out, and then we have to Lillies. That feels bad. We have to Lillies and hope we get Rare Candy Dirge, and yeah, we did. Excellent. So now I'll go Rare Candy into the Skeledirge. And we will Burning Voice take out the Bolt. Nice. We'll take that. There's a fire and a Night Stretcher. Excellent. There's the Baby Bolt. The Baby Bolt is pretty good in this matchup. For him, anyway. Obviously, ideally, I want to be going for this Till Mask, but he can go Sada to this, manual attach, and take out Fuecoco, Charmander, or Charmeleon. So we could be in a rough spot in the late game. There's Crispin. Crispin gets him there. Or gets him there, I should say. English. When I'm talking too fast sometimes, I twist my tongue. It's just how I am. But yeah. I've got to go to work later and my throat is killing me. We'll be fine though. It's not a big deal. We can at least get Value off the Fez again. 2 Baby Bolt? Huh? That's not normal. I'd have at least expected a Slitherwing, but, you know. Thunderburst Storm, what are we taking out? Makes sense, Chief. Makes sense. That's fine, we can Super Rod that back in. Alright, so preferably off of this, I want a... Well, it's not that. I'm going to Fez first before I shuffle those guys back in. Okay, that's not too bad. Then we'll get you guys back in. Attach here. We can then boss the Bolt and burn a Voice. We're pretty much in the driver's seat now. We have an energy on that Bolt down, or on that Crocalor down there. So we're really in the driver's seat now. You can also attach another energy and take out our Crocalor, which is annoying, but we can deal with that. It's not a big deal. There's another Hoot Hoot, that's fine. He is probably going to go for that Crocalor now, but that's fine. He's not hitting anything that I want to hit him to hit. Like, I don't mind losing the Crocalor here. It's not a major deal. It just means we're not going to set up the Metal Dirge. But, you know, it's one of those things. Why is he crispening to the active Bolt? You're throwing away a lot of energy, my friend. Thornton's not in the format anymore. I wish he was, because Thornton into that big Bolt would be pretty sick, but no. You're doing 150. Maybe he's going to try and hit the active Dirge. Yeah. I know what you're doing. You think I must be dumb. There's many things in life that I'm not, and dumb is not one of them. Oh wait, I forgot to play the Switch. Fuck. Okay, never mind. It's okay, we can work with it. Because we could just go for Burning Voice for 120. I was meant to play the Switch and go to this one. That's a misplay. I missequenced. It's all good. You can now say I'm dumb if you want in the comments, but no. I don't know. Like, I understand why he's doing it, but like, you need to Crispin again to this Bolt and then hit it for 150. Or 180, sorry. But that's putting a lot of energy on the board, you know. I don't think this is the correct line for my opponent. But no, I mean, they could get there. I mean, they're playing a good number of energy. Like, they've played, how many grass? Night Stretcher. They're off by 10, though. So even attaching to this Bolt means nothing. Because then we just knock it out with Vitality Song. And heal a little bit. It doesn't matter, but, you know. Unless he plays E-Switch, he doesn't have the knockout. I mean, you could target the Fez. Or just, like, hit both Dirges. There's Boss. Okay. You're going to hit the Dirge on the bench? Or you're going to hit the Fez? Because you don't do Fight Weakness, I hope you know that. Thunderburst Storm. He's going to hit that Dirge, I know he is. No, he takes out the Chi-Yu. What? I still get Fez Draw, you know. That is such a strange line. But yeah, sadly we're not going to be using the Metal Dirge in this video, it seems, because, you know, it's not a great card, but, you know, I've shown it at least to some extent. But this Dirge is doing some work. Because I'd say all we need now is Boss plus a Retreat, and that's it. Let's see what we get. Well, there's an Arven. Arven doesn't help us. Let's go for a flip the script. There's a Croc. So we'll bench the Fuecoco. I'll attack the energy to the Fez. Retreat the Fez. We'll take it out with this one because we can Vitality Song for the knockout. And we can heal a little bit. Which does actually matter for Bolt Math. It means he has to use 4. 220 HP left. Does actually matter. If we can get Ultra Ball off this Arven, we can Rare Candy into the Dirge and then maybe draw a Night Stretcher. And then we can at least say we've used it, you know, like... Because if he not... Can he knock out this Skeledirge? 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. He can, but he needs to attach. There's Noctowl. Does he have a way to get an energy back? He just needs an energy, but then I'll just come up with a Dirge and win. So, you know, at least you can say he took a Skeledirge. Sada plus Prime. Okay. Sada probably to the Charizard. Because Charizard plus manual attach gets him the knockout. Okay. He could prime the Skeledirge on the bench and hit it. But no, I think he's definitely missed it here. Prime, what's he going to prime? The Fez. You should have put energy on this Charizard. Like, yeah, it makes it a bit easier for me to knock it out, but, you know. I think he's relying on me not having an energy. That's the main thing. He's relying on me not having an energy. Which I think is a silly mistake to make. Like, you've seen I played more than 5, which is more than a standard Zard list. Choose a new active Pokemon. He's attacking with a Teal Mask? Huh? I mean, to be fair, it doesn't really matter, but yeah. Okay, that means we can get our job done a lot easier. So we'll just go for the Arven, grab the Switch, into the Dirge, and eat that for your stupid emote. Don't think I didn't see that in the corner of my eye. And down goes Teal Mask Ogerpon. And that is game. Didn't get to use the Metal Dirge, but to be honest, I'm not too fussed about that. At the end of the day, it was put in the deck list. That's good enough for me. We got to use this Dirge quite a bit, which is just a better card anyway. But yeah, that was pretty fun. I really enjoyed that. We're now up to Eternatus rank, which is pretty nice. So what do I think of the deck? Well, I think it's a good deck. Obviously, it does need some work. I think it needs some Pokegears for one thing, because this deck can brick quite a bit. But yeah, I don't think you should be playing the Metal Dirge unless you really have to, or if you know, you wanted to cover it to some extent by just like featuring it as a cameo in the video. But yeah, I do apologize for not being able to use the Metal Dirge. It was something I wanted to use because we could have potentially won with Teal Mask on, or the attack on Teal Mask. But yeah, unfortunately, not all things pan out how we want to, but we got to at least use a Skeledirge. And plus, I do have a variant in mind that involves that Metal Skeledirge that we could take a look at on the channel. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for today. I really hope you enjoyed seeing Charizard in action, and I'll see you next time.